Right, wrap it up around the world then. We'll start with Osimhen. And Osimhen's been on our radar, of course, because he is a certain level of striker. There are very few of that level around the place. But it looks like the bash cans have been digging around in the bottom of the sofa, Dave.
The Başkans, the presidents of Turkey have got together. And I mean, as it's on the screen there, look at what Manor and De Laurentiis have got out of them. 40 million euros now, 35 million in another year, 10% on future profit, and a bonus based on how many goals he scored, which, by the way, I think he got like 30 goals in the Turkish league last season as well. And they even agreed that he can't be sold to an Italian club for 2 years. You could almost imagine De Laurentiis just shouting out wild demands and the Başkans going, okay, because we just want the player that badly, and to get him on board with Sané as well. Also, speaking of Turkey, Duran is there now, isn't he? He is with Fenerbahce and Trev. I mean, this is a loan. There's rumours the loan fee itself is around 8 million euros. But remember, he went on that big wage deal from Villa to them for about, as rumoured, 300,000 a week. Fenerbahce are covering it all, 100%. So do you know what I mean? They're paying like an 8 million loan fee and 300k a week. So Turkey and their Başkans are really going for it to try and make a splash and obviously tap into that Champions League cash. They did try Besiktas. They tried for Emerson Royal. Do you remember the former fullback who was at Tottenham, wasn't he, not that long ago? But he's chosen to go back home to Flamengo. But yeah, the Turkish sides, the Başkans, having a right pop this season.
Very interesting. Really is interesting to see. They're obviously really trying to get that. It feels like a coordinated thing. Benfica are up next because they are looking for a couple of attackers.
Yeah, Ricardo Rios, the he's Ecuadorian, sorry, isn't he? Or Venezuela, I can't remember. Apologies, but he's gone from Palmeiras to there. Trev, do you remember João Félix? Do you remember when he was signed for that? What was it? 100-odd million for Atletico Madrid, and he was going to be the next superstar. And his career was just slowly progressed downwards, hasn't it? And now he could be going back to Benfica after all this time. I mean, that is absolutely crazy how far his star has fallen and where he is now. So he's keen on it because he's not in favour at AC Milan at all. So, yeah, almost a shame, that one, but probably a good lesson to never believe FIFA as an indicator of good players.
Yeah, I don't think people I think people underestimate when they say it as a joke, the level of influence that can have, even if it's just on players' ideas of other players. I think that's a real thing. Second last story then for us is Marcus Rashford and Barcelona, a wild one.
I've said to you before, I've always got a soft spot for Marcus Rashford because of his charity work and things we do. And I never want to see United successful, but I've never liked the way they've treated Marcus Rashford. And I mean, he's on loan last season at Aston Villa, and now he's done the loan deal with Barcelona. I think it shows just how much United wanted to get rid of him and how much Rashford wanted to move on. He actually accepted like a reduced wage to then do the loan deal where United still play part of it, apparently. But yeah, I mean, to be fair to Marcus Rashford, I don't feel too sorry for him because he's gone for a club that had a stinker and finished, 15th last season, to now playing for the Spanish champions, hasn't he? But what it also tells you is, do you remember there's all those stories that Barcelona are going to buy Luis Diaz? Well, Barcelona have ended up with young Rooney Badridge, I think it's pronounced, for 2.5 million. And Marcus Rashford on loan. So that tells you about the realistic chances Barcelona ever had of stumping up that cash. And yeah, Mr. 365 boy saying there, it was done the work for Scholes. We did a lot of good things. So I've always had a soft spot for Marcus Rashford, and I'm glad he's got a good move for him.
Yeah, I guess they ran out of levers to pull there at Barca. The last story then for us today is a lack of success for Saudi in attracting players, which is no surprise to Liverpool fans because we know they've been waving buckets of cash in the direction of a couple of our superstars, and they have a very strong tradition of doing that and getting some of them. But it looks as if things are not working out. A couple of collapsed deals is the latest Saudi news.
Yeah, there's a few journos saying that there's quite a lot of the players that have moved to Saudi now looking to get back. But in terms of incomings, there's a bit of scrutiny around how the Saudi clubs are now doing their business because it's kind of moved from the central committee approving it to a lot of the clubs, which has made it, easier in terms of speed and essence. But this is the big thing to keep an eye on with the Saudi side. There's been a few where they've agreed the fee, they've agreed the terms with the players, they've gone up to signing and they've changed their mind. The Saudi clubs have just pulled the pull at the last minute and go, nah, we think we can get a better player. And that's what they did to David Hanko, who is now an Atletico Madrid player. So he's moved from Feyenoord. It looked like he was going to be at Al Nassr, but Al Nassr went, actually, no, we think we can get better players. So despite agreeing terms and everything with the club and the player, just pulled the plug at the very last second as he's basically got the pen in his hand there, seems to be the story. So there's that. Also, another Saudi club. Do you remember Eric Bailly, who used to play for United and then went to Villarreal? He was set to move to a Saudi club. Did the exact same thing there as well, Trev. It was all agreed with Villarreal, agreed with the player. But literally, as he was going to sign the contract, the Saudis went, actually, on second thoughts, we'll just leave it, which is a very odd way of doing business. And also, I mean, we mentioned things like Saudis and Darwin. I think we need to be 100% certain that's signed, or even if there was an offer or anything like that coming in. But it's just interesting to see how it works with the Saudi side, because it's not good faith or good practice in the football world to do that, is it really? Agree it with the club, agree it with the player, get it all done, and then at the very last second, change the mind. And by the way, having sort of delved further, this is not a case of a player's failed a medical or anything like that. They have literally just changed their mind at the very last second.
Yeah, it's not exactly the kindest way to operate. But look, as you say, we may have to endure a little bit of that if the summer progresses and we haven't gotten rid of a couple of lads who are clearly not wanted at the club. And it's a harsh way to speak about it, that use that terminology, but that's the reality of it. We are looking to get rid of a couple. It's simple as that. Dave, it's been fantastic to catch up and get back into the saddle here with you on the transfer show. I have no doubt that it will not be a full week before we're back with another one. That just seems to be the way of it. For now, to you, thanks for gathering all that data, and to all the thousands of you out there watching live, really appreciate you guys a lot. Spread the word if you like the show, and we will see you very soon.